Hello, welcome to Call to TV. Although this is lesson 57 of our course, we will be looking at letters and the alphabet in this video. More specifically, we'll be looking at the cursive script. You'll find out what that is and why it is important in just a moment. Stay tuned. In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at the cursive script. So far we've been using what's called the printed script for writing words, for writing text in Russian. This is the script that is used by computers, devices, or anything that prints material out, hence the name printed script. So it is used by all electronic devices. Yes, you'll see it around on signs, posters. It's the kind of script you'll find in old books, newspapers, journals, and so on. Now, people use what's called the cursive script when they write with their hand on paper with a pen. Not necessarily with a pen, of course, and not necessarily on paper. Nowadays you can write on electronic screens and so on. But the point is, people use the cursive script when they are using their hands and some sort of pen to write. The printed and cursive scripts are different from each other. Now, these are not two different fonts. Don't confuse script with font, because you can have many different fonts in the printed script, right? So, in different software, you can select different fonts and you're still using the printed script. And likewise, in the cursive script, well, people have different handwriting. And that actually does make the cursive script quite tricky sometimes, because everyone forms their letters slightly differently. And so at times it can be quite hard to understand, to interpret what's being written. And so even I sometimes have to double check with people, what have you written here? So, it comes with practice, of course. Now, there is no obligation at all to write in the cursive script. It's perfectly fine to use both. It's just that Russians generally use the cursive script when they write. And of course, for you as a tourist, if you do get the chance to visit Russia at some point, it's no problem at all if you don't use the cursive script. That's perfectly fine. And again, some Russians prefer to use the printed script when they write as well. It's just that generally, or traditionally rather, people use the cursive script. So you at least should be able to read it and interpret what's being written, but there is certainly no absolute need to be able to write in the cursive script. Okay, so how it's going to work, I'm going to show you all 33 letters of the Russian alphabet in the cursive script. I'm then going to demonstrate to you on paper how to write and how to form these letters. That is mainly directed towards those who would like to learn to write in the cursive script. If that's you, then you can pause the video and practice it on paper as well and try to follow my pen, and with practice you'll be able to use the cursive script as well. But once again, you don't have to do that. The main objective of this lesson is to be able to read and understand written Russian, handwritten Russian. Okay, and then at the end of the lesson we're going to look at forming words and even sentences, and I'll show you how Russians write as well, and then you can train, you can practice. So from now on, I'm not going to do any narrating until the end of the video. It's fairly self-explanatory. I'm just going to show you the letters and I'm going to show you how to write them. You can pause and rewind as you like. Here we go. So there we go. Those were the 33 letters of the Russian alphabet in the cursive script. Hopefully you noticed that some letters aren't actually that different from the printed script and they're manageable, whilst others are indeed quite different, and it will take time to learn these letters and to be able to write them. Of course, as you know, practice makes perfect. Alright, now let's have a look at some words and phrases written in the cursive script, and hopefully you'll be able to work out what's written. So first of all, we are going to be using this font, which, okay, strictly speaking, is the printed script because it's being written, typed rather, on a computer, but at least it's trying to mimic the cursive script. So it reads «Всему свое время». «Всему свое время». And that's what it looks like in printed. And literally this means to everything, or everything has its time. And as far as I know, we have the exact same proverb in English, but just in case you don't know, this is, well, fairly obvious anyway. It just means that there's no point rushing. Everything comes at some time, sooner or later. There's no need to try to rush to that. You can wait and be patient. Here's the next one. So it should say «Повторение – мать учения». «Повторение – мать учения». And in printed form, «Повторение – мать учения». And this means that repetition, повторение, is the mother of learning. In other words, repetition, rehearsal, revision is the key to learning. Practice makes perfect, basically. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some examples of handwritten proverbs, and we'll see if you can, first of all, try to read them out loud, and then we'll see if you can understand what they mean. Okay, so here's the first one. So, have you managed to figure it out? We've actually seen this proverb before. I don't remember which lesson it was, but it was right at the start of our course. Век живи, век учись. Век живи, век учись. Live for a century, learn for a century. And this basically means live and learn. You learn something new every day. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, so it should say Два сапога пара. Два сапога пара. Literally, this means two boots are a pair. And this basically means that two people usually are very, very similar to each other. Two of a kind, we might say in English, or I've heard things like cut from the same cloth or something like that. But usually people use this in situations like, oh, you're as bad as he is, or you're as unorganized as he is. So you're very similar to someone else. In Russian, maybe you could say, Вы с ним два сапога пара. You're as bad as he is. That is, of course, implied in Russian. We're not explicitly saying you're as bad as he is in Russian. You can kind of infer that from the tone. All right, and here's the last proverb for today. So it should read, Сделал дело, гуляй смело. Сделал дело, гуляй смело. Literally, this means you've done your job or you've done your tasks. You go for a walk, you go outside with courage. So this means something like once you've done all your jobs, all your tasks, once you've completed your to-do list, you can go outside for a walk in a calm, kind of relaxed, relieved manner. So this basically means that you need to do all your jobs before you go and relax. Or in English, we might say business before pleasure, something like that. So hopefully those written proverbs were to some extent legible. Hopefully you managed to work out what was written. As you can see, different people's handwriting is quite often different, so it comes with practice, really. If you have any questions at all regarding the cursive script, then feel free to ask us in the comments. As always, you can also send us an email. Thank you very much for your attention. See you next time. Goodbye.